How about this crazy market? Everybody was scared to death Friday. Today it all turns around. Hello, Andy. Yeah, crazy. A bit tired. It's 2:30 a.m. in Australia for James, George, Pete DeBrock, Oregon, Trone, Captain Kirk, Don Dean, Balvinder, iPhone Beth in Tennessee, Gil, Lynn. I'm not back in Florida yet, Lynn. I'm leaving in as soon as this show is over. I got to catch my flight out of the Aspen airport. Hopefully, the actual flight will actually take off. Jeff G is in Greece. Ola from Costa Rica. Jason, Melanie, David, hello. Anybody long AVGO? iPad is long. Lynn is long. Beth in Tennessee, all green. Cashbot, let's drop. We'll tell you about that here shortly. Stephanie's in from London. No, I won't be eating at the airport, Wreck-It Ralph. I told you the story about the lady with the jet that was complaining about a $40 sandwich. They don't have anything good over there anyway. I don't want to eat before I get on the plane. Yeah, all green on my screen. Show you what I'm looking at.
Hey Jack, sorry about that. I was talking
No
to
problem.
talking to one of the boss mans there.
How you doing? Hello, James.
Hey everybody, sorry about being a minute late.
No
Welcome
problem.
to the show. Jack, we had a big day yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Just amazing.
And you know what? Two trades just fired off. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna if, I know you got your screen shared, but if you want to let me share for just a second, I'll show these
Sure.
trades off for everybody really quickly.
All right.
And we just
Yeah,
talk about it
$40
here.
sandwich, Bodine, just like a little old ham sandwich. It's crazy.
Think I just shared the wrong screen. Let's try it one more time. One more time. Here we go. So we've got these two right here. And you can take them or leave them. You know, this thing automatically pumps them out. But here's number one.
Hey,
Sell
look.
this one, buy this one. The credit maybe already gone. And then QQQ, sell a 5.99, you know, buy a 5.98 for tomorrow, the 14th. Get a credit around 43 cents, close at 22, half the credit. So I just want to show those off. They're going, they're working, they're pumping them out right here. If you missed the CashBot premiere yesterday, we're gonna do something at the end of the show, Jack, and
Yeah.
replay our premiere, I think.
Yep.
But this thing is hunting, as you say. This dog can hunt.
So it can't- yeah. But
Yeah, I'll let you get back to sharing your screen here.
no, it's fine. I was just showing them what I was looking at here.
No, let's go into it. I want to, I'm
Okay.
always sharing. You can share.
Well, all right. I'll share. I'll just show you what I'm looking at here. I asked if anybody was long AVGO. A couple people are, but got Apple up a little bit, which is amazing. Not 250. AbbVie's on a roll. Broadcom 353. Huge jump. Again, you got a multi-billion dollar company moving up 8.7%. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
BlackRock up,
I
I
saw a
think.
bunch of stuff getting hit on Friday, and then now it's making new highs today. So
That was the
it
thing.
jumped.
Even after the market closed, it was selling off and it looked bad. And then I think Trump came out and said when Z said he was going to do all that, he was just having a bad day. And he didn't. That's what he said. He had a
Hey,
bad moment. He
yeah,
said Z's a good guy. He just had a bad moment. We don't want to hurt China. We want to help it. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. And that's why I say I never see a president in my life that can move a market like this guy can with a tweet of all things. Yeah. I wonder if Reagan would have come out tweeting like that every day. Probably not. Now we got Circle doing its thing, up 367. BlackRock, I think, is going to have great earnings off this IBIT ETF. BlackRock is up 25 bucks, 11.57. And NVIDIA holding at 188. And Vertiv moving up 10. We talked about that last week. And there goes Tesla up 12. That's all I got on my watch list.
I got put 600 shares of TSLL on Friday, and it's already looking pretty good.
What was your strike?
I sold 2150s, 2050s, and 1950s. I had two of each, two 2150s, two 2050s, two 1950s.
And they expired last Friday?
And I got put on all three of those on Friday.
Wow. And
you know, for the 2150s, I collected $1.24. So that basically put it down to 20.
yeah.
Pretty close. And then for the let's see, the 1950s, I got 25 cents. So those were actually at 19.24. And then for the 2050s, I collected 80 cents on those. So those were in at like 1970.
Sweet. I sold the 20 strike on TSLL for $2. I still haven't got that one gifted to me yet.
So I am slightly underwater across the whole position, almost $1, but guess what? I could sell a lot of premium on this baby.
Yeah, you can.
I'm sitting here looking it up right now. I haven't even caught up to the market yet today.
That's loss on a credit spread, Jim, is the amount you put into the trade. That's the max. Yeah. Yeah, he really did. He said just Z had just a bad moment, and he's really not a bad guy. Don't worry about China. It'll take care of itself. Yeah. Dave L says half of Warren Buffett's guidance was buy when others are fearful, and he did that at the end of the trading day Friday. Way to go, Dave. You're probably up on all that. Yeah. No, I'm still long. Wreck-It Ralph.
Alrighty. I just put in an order to sell some 22 strike upside calls for this Friday for 13 cents on TSLL.
Nice. Hey, I saw in the news over the weekend that there's 5 new leveraged ETFs hitting the market today.
That's so crazy.
Here they tell me what you think of this one. AURU.
AURU.
Yeah, that's autonomous vehicle tech advancing next gen freight logistics.
With a 2x leverage.
On AURU. And this one you gotta think this one ain't gonna last. Celsius Holding 2-time.
Dude, I love Celsius. Like, I don't love the drink, but I love the stock. This thing is going back to the highs.
CELT, that is, if you want to mess with that.
The underlying look, I mean, this thing is going back to the highs. It's going back up here.
Let's take a look at that. Hold on to that thought. The next one is 2-time ETF LYFX on Lyft. Well, they'll come up with anything, right? And then we got NETX, a 2-time ETF on Cloudflare.
Cloud, yeah.
You're gonna love this one. This one takes the cake. A 2-time ETF on Okta.
Wait, what was the Cloudflare one? NETX, NetX. It should be that one right there.
And then OKTX for Okta. Man, that is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, OKTA. Let's look at the underlying.
OKTX, yeah. Okay, Okta.
Oh, yeah. Okta not looking so hot there.
This one, I bet this one goes out of business next year. You know, as soon as everybody understands what the deal is with Okta, no revenue yet, they're going to kill this thing, cut it in half at least. And I don't see this ETFs making it.
I mean, that thing's been in a correction since 2022. Just sitting here grinding sideways. Nasty price action. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. That one ain't going to work.
To me, this is a big red sign, not able to get through this right here after 3 years of grinding in a bullish market. Next time we get any kind of pullback or rest in the market, this thing is heading down here.
Yep. I don't think that one's going to make it. I don't think any of them are going to make it.
Wait, Ukta. Yeah, this one, I think you're talking about Oklo, but Ukta actually has some earnings.
Yeah, Oklo doesn't. I was wrong. This is OKTA.
Yeah. OKTA does have some earnings. They're in the packaged software sector. But their stock still looks pretty bad. But this, they do make some money. They got a lot of debt, though. It's kind of playing the Oracle game here.
This is a new company too. I haven't seen this ETF company that's pushing them out, but the government fast-tracked all these ETF registrations, so they don't have to go through all the problems they did, hassle and time delay they did. Now they just file it and list it, trade, and there it goes.
And Trade R. Trade R ETFs. That's the thing, that's one of the things I tell people is that I like to go with companies I trust, like ProShares, iShares. T-Rex has been around a bit. Granite Shares, I've had mixed results with. Trader, I'm not sure about their management of ETFs. They're not all they're cracked up to be. These, some people think, oh, 2X is, but the management company behind it is important. Like YieldMax is horrible. And Trader so far to me is unproven. I haven't really even heard of it, like you said. And that doesn't mean they're not good. It just, I tend to, the market is a place where performance matters and what you do matters. And if you have no track record, then how do I trust you?
Yeah, they just want the fees. They don't care if this thing goes up, down, or sideways. They just want the fee. What is a management fee on this little puppy?
Let's go look at it. 1.3. Whew. Yeah,
Gotta get in the ETF business.
yeah, Jack, you and I should start a couple.
Should. What would your ETF be about?
I'm not sure, man. Maybe we should do some income strategy. Teach YieldMax how to actually do it.
A naked put strategy would be amazing.
Yeah,
Just
we can do.
tech market.
We can do some naked puts, and I mean, my track record's pretty good. Yours is pretty stellar too. I think between the two of us, we could probably crank out a pretty good ETF. Let us know in the chat what y'all think. Yes or no? Should Jack and I start an ETF that does these puts?
Does these puts and I gotta hold. I gotta hold my tech stuff, man. I love it. I was down 120 grand on Friday at the close, and in my tech portfolio, and up 117 or 18 this morning. So
that was in this account. I was down 7K, including the drop after the market closed. And right now I'm already back up 5. So I got a little go, but yeah, I don't sweat it really on the down days. I was like, well, that sucked. It'll probably be back, but
well, look at this. James F doesn't want us to do it because we'd be preoccupied and we wouldn't be able to do this.
No, you don't know. You don't understand.
We would still do this if we had an ETF. Bodine says we should do a wheel strategy ETF.
Well, that's essentially what we're talking about.
And Dave L says the ETF ticker would be MKTMST. Zero fee. Scott wants us to do it for free.
Zero fees. I don't know about zero fees. I think
we got to charge.
We got to get a little something for our effort.
0.25%.
Yeah, 0.25%. That sounds pretty fair. This is somebody said MK, whatever the ticker you said, MKTMST. MKTW is actually a competitor of the company we work for. That funny enough, MKTW. So
Oh,
their
really?
stock.
Wise is public?
Yeah.
Oh man, that I would never buy that thing.
Look how bad it is. Look at this.
You
Look
know,
how
do you remember when James Cramer, I think he went public with the street.com, one of the first .com subscription businesses that went public.
yeah, every
That-
time I see Jim Cramer's commercials for I'll teach you how to retire. I'm just like I was like, I just feel sorry for the people that buy that stuff
I know.
from
I can't believe he's still on TV, but there you go.
and
Petranto says our ticker should be MMJJ. Oil says UAMY. Dave says, how about MKTW? Yeah, we couldn't do that one. Yeah, we ought to really look into that though. I mean, it can't be that hard. If this company's doing ETFs, we could put one out there.
then you just got to find some investors to finance the initial offering or whatever. What I'd ask AI how we could spin one up and see. It'd be
Yeah,
pretty interesting, I think.
yeah, it would be. Uh, what did I read? What
Not the same since he can't throw chairs.
did I-
He's getting to be a pretty old dude. I mean, he's been on TV almost my entire trading career. So, I mean,
Yeah, we should do one. Here's a Barbara Roper, an expert in investor protection, former senior advisor for the SEC. She said that the majority of Americans are not good at investing. They pay too much for substandard products recommended by conflicted representatives.
yeah, that's
Talking about products.
what I'm talking. I mean, that's basically what we're talking about is, people pay these high fees for things that just a hope and a prayer and a wish and a dream. And, nobody's looking out for you. So,
Yeah.
how does the bot work? Well, the bot looks for a price pattern. My cash bot looks for a price pattern in SPY, QQQ, and IWM. And then it goes and finds a great credit spread for you to take advantage of and throws it out there. That's how it works. That's the one liner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can move a little bit, right?
Yep. Yeah. Vladdy, just make sure you sell your calls above the cost basis and keep going. Yeah, Wrongemer has been trading the cash bot for a while. He's had access. He's one of my VIPs. Had access for a while, and great system. It just works. I mean, it's just one of those things that just works, Jack. It
Yeah. Don't you love stuff like that?
was a tool I built for myself because I don't have time to sit here and watch every single chart, and I just want to know when the trade's ready.
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
somebody
Never,
asked how do you do a debit spread?
yeah. Let's look at one.
Let's talk about it on your favorite stock, shall we?
Yeah.
Your stock. I'm one of my favorite stocks. One of your favorite stocks. Let's just look at this baby.
Uh, love it. So what we do for a debit spread, Michael, there's all kind of ways to do it, but the principles and concepts are always the same. You're going to buy one call and sell a higher strike price call. How much higher than the one you buy? That depends upon how you're doing the strategy. What I like to do is find the stock price and buy a call at or below the market price and then sell one next strike higher. It's a wrap order. I like to do that because Tesla normally makes a 1% to 2% move in a couple days, and that's all I need.
Yep. And this is what it looks like right here. You would buy this higher strike price, and that's what the B1 means. Buy one. You would sell the lower strike price on the calls. Now you could do this on the downside too. You could. It may not be a good idea, but you can do debit spreads on the put side too. And that would be like you would buy the lower price one and sell the higher strike one. That would be a debit spread. You're paying. Oh, somehow I put in a credit. My bad. Your debit, net debit, you're buying right here. Saying one thing, clicking on another. If you're buying this, then the max risk is whatever you pay for it. Now, how do you make money? Well, on a put debit spread, price has to drop in your favor, or IV has to climb. If you're on a call credit spread, or call debit spread, excuse me, call debit spread, get my lingo right. I keep clicking credits instead of debits.
Yeah, you'd buy the 425, sell the 427.50. And one of the things about this, Jim, that I think asked, is that why do you do it? Because if you just bought the 425 call, you'd spend 2,155 dollars to get in, whatever. 2,155 for one contract. That's a lot. But if you sell that higher strike price call, you're going to bring in a ton of cash, and the only difference is that debit of $1.25. So instead of buying a call for 2,175, you can get into it for 130 bucks. And the other thing is, if you just bought that call, you would need a really huge move in the underlying. Whereas when you do the debit spread, you just need a little move in the underlying to even pick up 50%. That's a debit spread. Some guys like to go $10 higher than the call they bought, just all kind of different ways to do it.
And you can do it out of the money, where you buy this one, you sell this one, and you really need Tesla to come in to go bullish to get this into the profit. The advantage is here, your cost and your risk is way lower than just buying at the money. Because right there, that's $2,000 to get one call.
Woo!
That's 100 shares, $2,000. Now you'd need that to move. You need it to move at least $30 just to try to make 50% profit.
That's a hard proposition, my friend. That's a lot of capital, and the underlying needs a big move. I would much rather be a seller of that option.
Now with the trade, Jack, we started out teasing here. If you were to buy this one, right in the money, sell this one, right now you're out $1, according to these prices right here.
So what we would do is, if our debit was $1, we would then turn around and put an order good till cancel to sell it for 50% of our debit. So we'd add 50 cents. We bought it for $1 on a debit limit on the debit of $1, and we'd put it for sale good till cancel with a net credit of $1.50. So we get in with a debit spread, we get out as a credit.
Now, how much would it take for Tesla to move to get this to $1.50?
Not
much. Probably 2% move higher instead of $30. Now you're only looking at like maybe $8
to get 50%.
Yeah, to get 50%. And we look over here, Tesla's already moved 12 today.
Already moved 3%. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's it. But we got to get that green light. We only do it on Thursday. That's the other thing about it.
Yeah, this particular trade is there's time based and there's some other factors to it, but that's how you would play a debit spread on Tesla in particular. Now somebody asked about NVIDIA. We can look at NVIDIA. Now, depends on, are you bullish or bearish? Like if you're bullish, and you can do a short time frame. What's the best time frame? There's no best time frame necessarily. I typically would play these, only a week or two out.
Yeah.
So if I was trying to take advantage of this.
Not this Friday, but the following Friday.
Because data does work against you in these trades. So, but like NVIDIA, for 1 week out, for not this Friday, but next Friday, 14 days, roughly. I guess it's 11 days. look how much, $4.60 for an at the money. That's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you. You can think about it. Take a $6 move higher for this call to make 50%. Take a $4.50 move higher just for this to break even.
That's a tough proposition.
Yeah, that's rough. And but then you can do like a debit spread and lower your risk in the trade by coming in here, buying the one, selling the other. Roughly $1.20 on that one right now. Difference in the prices. So then
Right.
you might need like a 60-cent move higher to make a 50% gain.
See, that's so much more possible than a huge move.
See, really, you just need this thing to come up in this range, which is only like a $4 move in the underlying instead of, needing like an $8 or $10 move. So there you go. That's the advantages. What are the disadvantages? You got to get a move. If price doesn't move, data decay will catch up to you.
And eat it up. The other thing people say is a negative about a debit spread is that your profit is capped, which is true, but you could still get 50%. I guess if you buy a call, you want to make 400 or 500%, but you could still make 100% with a debit spread. It's just that you're better off just taking a 50% gain and getting out.
How often, think about it this way, statistically wise, how often do you think 50% gains happen versus how often do you think a 400% gain happens?
Yeah.
You got to have 8 50% gains before you get to 400%. So, I mean, just that right there, being very simple about it, that's 8 times more likely to happen. Right there.
Right there. JC asks, did I get hit with naked put assignments last Friday or did I roll some of those positions? I did not get hit. I didn't get assigned any naked puts and I didn't roll anything. So all that stuff expires this Friday. That'd be my naked put on TSLL. And I got one hanging out there on IBIT. And those are the only ones I got off.
What are the headings on the columns? Here you go, right there.
Let me read this question. Maybe John Dillon, if you could send that into support at jackcartertrading.com, I can answer that and get it right back to you.
And these are trading views headers. Like they're not mine. I don't really control them. So
Trone asks, doing a trade on Thursday, is that just the rule for Tesla? Yeah, that's just the rule for Tesla. And it's not about Friday so much, Trone. It's what Tesla did to get that green light to go off on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Thursday is the only rule like that for Tesla. Others, I just do them. Dennis asks, for the market maker move, do you look at the bid and ask on the calls and puts? Basically just to ask on both.
you just come in here and you sell both sides. You can see it doesn't, like, as long as you're right at the money, like that one's 41.25, this one's 41.35. I mean, that's pretty much, that's on either side of the at the money. That's right around 41.30, is the expected move.
No, I think that term expected move is a lie. I think what they're saying is we don't want to get caught in a trap, so this is how we're going to price it. We need to cover our butt first. We don't care if you make or lose. So I'm going to price this thing so wide that it's going to be really hard for me to lose my shirt or my pants or anything I need to wear. That's why it's not an expected move. We see so many times where you got that on NVIDIA like last earnings. And what happened? Absolutely nothing.
You see,
NVIDIA,
the market's pricing in that it's going to stay in this zone right here, between this line right here and this line right here. They're pricing in that we don't really care what happens. We're going to sell you those options. And as long as price kind of stays in here, we're good right now. That's what the market makers are really saying.
That's what they're saying. If you sell it to me, an option, I can probably resell it in this zone. And if you buy one from me, I can probably cover my short if I short the option to you. That's what they're counting on, really wide. Now, if that doesn't happen, that's why I say it's not expected. It's just the cover my ass spread. It's not expected. So if you buy one of these calls, you got to see a huge move in the underlying and bigger than what you paid for. That's the problem. You're already paying for that big move. Mark says market makers don't want the price to move. They do want the price to move, Mark. They want the price to move to the point that yields the most value. That's what they want it to do. They don't care if it goes up or down. And they do want it to seek that price that yields the most volume because that's where they make the most risk-free money.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned talking to Jack is like market makers, they don't really care directionally. They just
Not-
want to push a lot of trades. So
That's exactly,
wherever a ticker needs to go to push a whole lot of trades,
yeah, on both
that's what
sides.
they want.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, I hate to say it, it's just like a sports bookie. One of my good friends in Denver has got the biggest book in town. And, he's setting that line on the Broncos, and it's just whatever line gets the most betters on both sides, right? That's how Vegas does it. People think that Vegas is always trying to rip the better off, but they're not. They're just trying to find which point spread brings us in the most money, most bets on both teams. That's it. They want action on both sides. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and I mean it's like you can think of it like why are the rivals the biggest rivals? It's because a lot of them generate the most kind of revenue for both teams involved and for all the better. Like it just any sports game out there, any any contest really, the people running the game just want the most excitement around whatever it is,
Yep.
and that's where they make the most money is the house.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Hinder says market makers are stop running, right? They're looking for stops. Not really. In the options market, they are, but in the stock market, they're not. And the reason is because they can't push a stock like Tesla up or down to hit a stop. The market is too big. With an option, they don't have to push it anywhere. They could just widen the spread until your stop falls in between that bid and ask.
Yeah,
But
see, this is a key, Jack. I think a lot of misconception is that market makers are doing the pushing, but it's these large bank trading desks that do
yes,
the pushing.
that's exactly right. Prop desks, they call them. They're really not hedge funds. It's just 15 guys that know how to trade fast money traders.
And
Uh,
that they can push volume and they know like how many millions of dollars they need to push on SPY to get it to move a point or 2 points or 5 points.
yeah,
And then they can actually look at the market and stop people out and go
yeah,
collect that money.
yeah,
They'll be like, oh, there's a big buyer there and we can go collect that money. And they're sitting there. And a lot of people think that's the market makers, but it's not. It's these big trading desks.
that's right.
It's these big trading desks.
Now, the other thing those trading desks can see is if they're trying to push a stock up, they can see it's got an ask price, and they can also see how many shares are available at that ask price. And then they can see how many is available at the next highest price, right? So they can just simply calculate, I need X amount of dollars to push this thing up 50 cents. And I do that on 100,000 shares or whatever. That's all they're doing, and then they move on. But they can see that entire book of orders at different prices.
And then they've got algorithms that do this automatically for them too. And that's where a lot of this comes from, where a lot of this battle comes from, especially in a volatile market like we had on Friday. If you watch the ladders in the tape, like the price was doing this a lot. It was those algorithms fighting each other to go grab a few on the way in the direction we were going.
That's right. Yeah, that's interesting stuff. It's a lot of fun. You got to be on your toes to do that market making business. But you see a lot of firms now, prop desks, they'll kind of make a market in a stock. They'll kind of be on the bid and the ask at the same time, competing. And if they get hit on the ask, someone lifts their ask, they'll just raise the bid and be the new highest bid all by themselves and try to cover that and just do that all day.
And it's a different game than we play.
But And you got to be flat. That's the other thing. You got to pretty much be flat at the end of the day if you're a market maker, because you have this net capital requirement for a broker dealer, right? To be a broker dealer. So if you're a market maker and you're a registered broker dealer, you got a net capital requirement on your firm. So no firm can go outside of that. If they do, they get shut down. So they got to be flat. And that's the tricky part. You don't want to be long at the end of the day, because then what they'll do is a mark to the market price overnight. You don't want that. And if you're short, you definitely don't want that. So you want to be as close to flat as possible.
Yeah. Crypto got hit pretty bad on Friday.
Well, why was that? It's strange that that would have been the case when the market did too.
So you know what I found out? Binance found a glitch in their leverage system, and they announced it to the public like a week or so ago. And they announced that they were going to have a fix for it like in another week or so. So there was like this window where somebody could exploit it. And Friday happened to be the exact middle day between when they announced it and when they're going to fix it. And somebody exploited the glitch and stopped out the entirety of leverage across the entire crypto market because of all the arbitration between exchanges. And I think that a couple traders, prop desk, if you will, was like, hey, I wonder if this could work. And it started working. And then it worked so good that it just wiped the leverage clean out of the market. And I think some of the drop on Friday that spilled over into the equities market may have been because people were losing their butt on crypto and were going to have to cover. And they had to go sell some equities to cover some losses. Because there was some ridiculous number, like 190 accounts lost more than $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's great. Hey, Hal, send that question into support@jackcartertrading.com, and I'll answer that one for you while I'm at the airport.
I kind of simplified that a little bit. Yeah. And Jack, be careful trading. Be careful traveling, my man. Look forward to see you get down to Florida tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. Papa Jack, yeah. Balvinder, which service are you talking about here? We got Jeffrey has a lot of them. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, we got a lot of services. That's
So are we going to see a run higher in circle?
hey, we're right at this support line. Look at this. This uptrend of lows, as long as it stays intact, up would be the pressure.
Yep.
If we break through that, then we're probably going to come down here and retest that low from back here in early September
Yeah.
and see if it'll hold.
We don't have our dates for Jacksonville yet, Dennis.
Nope.
But
As soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
bag racing on the beach there with his Cybertruck. Was he going to see the same? Yeah.
So as we, circle, I don't know. Where's the opportunity today, Jack? What do you think?
I think Fig. I think I'm gonna uh, do a little mess in here with Fig.
This one has a leverage ticker.
I know. Well, it's
Let's
almost
see.
like what
Let's try to
done.
remember. Yeah, what doesn't? Yeah. Let's see. Fig. Let's try to remember which one it is. Fig. I know it has a leverage ticker. I just can't find it right at the moment. I saw it last week. I'm not typing it right for some reason.
I'm
Anyway,
just in it. This market is so strong that people are going to take more speculation and stuff like this.
so my whole thing, Friday, I don't think that much damage was done to the market. Actually, we stopped a lot of leverage out, but all that does is really clean the slate for going higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as we talked about, we haven't really had one of these like super exciting blow off tops yet. We were kind of above the climb rate a little bit, but we haven't really gotten one of these like, oh my gosh, type of moves across the big broader market that would result in a bigger flush down. Now, if we do get that in the next couple of weeks, watch out for a bigger flush. But I think this move on Friday was probably healthy. I mean, you look, it's about the same size. It just happened fast, but it's about the same size as all these little hiccups we've had along the way.
Yeah, no, that was a great little flush. You know, the market just gets into stronger hands. You know, when it's high, who's buying, right? Who could be buying when it's that much higher? That's the crazy part.
And it came right down where we had made that low and that low. And then we just made that move Friday.
Yeah,
That's
it's funny. People say, "Would you buy stocks at this level?" And a lot of pros are. I read on Sunday, billionaire Ken Griffin. I like that guy a lot. He sold 48% of his fund Citadel, their stake in Palantir, and sold that and quadrupled his position in NVIDIA. 400% increase in his position at this price.
whew,
That's
that's
what I'm
rich.
very rich.
I I just don't see massive upside for Nvidia. I mean, to me, there's better places to be playing instead
Yeah.
of the top dog. But
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
so too. But he
I'm
says
not King Griffin though.
he says the next decade of computing will be defined not by those who write algorithms, but by those who control the infrastructure that runs them. And NVIDIA's evolved into the whole ecosystem, GPUs from everything from large language models to next generation humanoid. Um, it's all just about the ecosystem that he loves. And the CUDA platform, it gives them a moat of their own as developers have to stick with it. So that's
Yeah,
what,
it's kind of interesting. When you look at it though, it's like once you train these large language models, they can run on basically any hardware. They don't
yeah,
have to stay on NVIDIA. So that's NVIDIA's got the kind of the lockdown on training, but they don't have the lockdown on actually deploying the models. But you know who's working that deal to run the models is AMD. And AMD has that potential to go to like 700. And just comparing AMD versus NVIDIA, just the market cap, you know, AMD could buy them out almost 100 times over or 10 times over at least. Um, this is just crazy how much potential there is. This has, just to catch up to NVIDIA market cap wise, we're talking about more than a 10x potential here. Now, can they perform? I don't know. The CEOs are cousins. Their backroom deals? I don't know. But, Lisa is cousins with NVIDIA's CEO. She didn't know that. First cousins, not even like distant cousins.
yeah,
And
she
there's
wants
just
to beat them.
there's just giant upside potential here for actually running a lot of the AI stuff. Like these guys specialize in actually running, getting the hardware out there and running it on the streets.
That's why a lot of people think this has more upside than NVIDIA. And you talked about that last week. You look at a stock that's trading for 219 and one's trading for 188. Not much difference in share price,
Right.
but market cap, huge difference.
Yeah, we look at, we compare. Let me grab a cleaner chart here before I do all this. AMD, and then we compare NVIDIA to it. And we look at them not on a percentage basis, but let's put it on the regular chart. And you're like, well, AMD, let me put it on a daily chart instead of AMD's outperforming right now. And because of the market cap, they have the potential to way outperform. But on a stock price, you look at it, you're like, 12, 219, 188. And most people just look at this number right here and they think that
It's too high or too low.
too high or too low. Yeah, like they think those mean the same thing, but they don't mean the same thing at all. Because when the blue one, NVIDIA, moves $1, that's $24 billion, $24.9 billion moving into or out of the market. Whereas when this one moves, we're less than $2 billion. B with a B. You know, this is B. So this one can move like a $10 move on this one on an AMD is still less money than a dollar move on NVIDIA. That's less money involved. And it all comes down to the market cap. How many shares? When you move something a dollar that has 1.6 billion shares, I said 1.2, 1.6 billion shares, that means a dollar is $1.6 billion. For NVIDIA, that's $24.3 billion for a dollar move. Right there. So that's many a lot of people don't look at it that way, but this number is important. How many shares are out there? Because that's $1 move. Everybody's getting a dollar. Right there. Everybody understand? Any questions on that?
Oh, that's good. That's so important. Yeah. What is not just the price of the stock, but the price of the whole company.
And that's why NVIDIA making a ridiculous move higher just doesn't seem very likely right now. Like them doubling from here, it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of market effort to take the biggest company out here worth, getting close to $5 trillion. To double that, it's going to take $4.5 trillion.
Crazy.
Where does $4.5 trillion come from?
That's got to kind of have to come from everything else. But
So
more trillions a small number. What's the total capitalization of the entire crypto market?
well, the entire crypto market is not huge. the entire crypto market right now is $4 trillion.
Right, and that's all nothing.
So NVIDIA is bigger than the entire crypto market.
Yeah, but NVIDIA has a business. This crypto market is $4 trillion of air,
Yeah.
right? No internet, no crypto. That thing's so fragile. Yeah, and the bond market dwarfs the equity market too, and the crypto market.
And gold, $27.7 trillion today. And that keeps sucking in money like crazy worldwide. If you look at the, today, all assets tracked by this website, $182 trillion. And it's actually up over the last 7 days, despite the pullback on Friday.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's just 8 market cap, and infinite market cap is what they call the website. But 8 market cap is how you get there.
Rob says crypto isn't even air; it's just virtual.
Yeah. It's just it's bits, it's electrons basically.
You got a trillion in that. I mean, everything's a trillion. Trillion ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Trillion
If all the computers turned off, then crypto's kind of gone.
Yeah, NVIDIA has a business though, right? I mean, they're paying a dividend, they're making money. It's crazy to me to see a trillion-dollar crypto market when the thing can't pay you a dividend or cut you a check, and it's the Tron economy, Bodines.
Hey, dollars are kind of, I mean, yeah, sure, you can touch the paper, but full faith and credit of the United States. And we're in a debt bubble. So we've seen other governments go out of business.
America is great at bubbles. That's one of the best things we do. Create
And
bubbles.
speaking of bubbles, this is kind of a psychological path that the market takes over and over. I call it the bubble pattern. I see it a lot. I feel like we haven't, we're doing this part right here in the S&P right now. And I want to see this part happen. If we do that, we're probably going to get this over here. I mean, you can see it. Like we had this rapid appreciation. Now we're kind of getting this grind right here. If we go absolutely bonkers up, that would be kind of the blow off top situation I've been talking about. And it would lead to euphoria. Everybody's a genius in that market psychologically. So
everybody is. Yeah. AI bubbles are stories about AI bubbles have hit almost a new high.
and it is probably a bubble, but it's probably still early in the bubble is the thing. Everybody wants it to be near the end. It'll probably turn out to be a bubble because most of the companies getting involved in AI don't make any money. Very similar to the dot-com bust. Now, the people building the hyperscalers, the people building the infrastructure, the NVIDIA, the Google, the Microsoft, yeah, they're making money. But all these little companies that are coming along
Crazy. I saw
don't
one,
make any money.
saw one last week. There's just three people, two guys and a lady. They had an AI company that hasn't even decided what it's going to do yet, and it got a $20 billion valuation. Now
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Oh, look at this one. I mean, this one's got Tempest AI. They have very little sales. They 17x right now. Earnings, they have none. They're losing money. Giant debt, basically running on debt. But $16 billion market cap.
That's it.
Losing $1.20 a share.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get its head cut off. Just like 2022, the first stocks that got killed and the ones that got killed the most were stuff around $100 or more that had no revenue, no earnings. Yeah, I'm gonna probably make a list of stuff that I'm gonna keep on my short watch list.
I'm trying to remember C3AI's ticker.
Yeah.
Can't remember at the moment. One I'm let's see. Ticker. Yeah, it was just AI. I wonder what. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, it's because I have funds turned on. There it is. Duh. Now this one is another interesting one that makes no money. $2.5 billion. Not a bunch of debt, but they also don't bring in very much money.
Yeah. But the price it's too low for me to short.
And that's the problem. Like people have already figured out some of these that
Aren't gonna make it.
it's like, look at there's the bubble pattern right there. That thing I was showing you. There it is, that chop.
Mhm.
And now here's a little mini one. And then there's another little mini one. And they keep getting lower and lower and lower. That's the thing about these. You got to be careful where you play. So, have any trades been done today? Yeah, people have been trading like crazy today. Just you talk about Jackerai. I just did some stuff on TSLL and Gap.
Yep. I'm gonna put on another naked put today, probably on IBIT. As soon as we get done here, right before I leave.
I was selling a 2150 call. I got put these shares on Friday. Selling a 2150 call upside. Right there. Is that right for you in your account? I can't say. There's a substantial risk of loss. I did get put these. My average cost is right around 20. I was trying to sell a 21 upside call here. I got 600 shares of that. And, just circling back over here, full disclosure, I did get 900 shares put to me. I got paid 24 cents to get 900 shares put to me. That was 216 bucks cash in my account. I bought those shares, 21. My actual cost basis, this has been rolled and other things I've done. My actual cost basis down around 20. So I'm trying to sell the upside call against that and turn it into a positive for getting to hold those shares. And then TSLL, I had 2150s. I got put those. I collected $1.24 on those. I got some 1950s. I had collected 25 cents on those. So that cost basis is 19.25 for those 200 shares. And then I'd also, at the same time, sold 2050s and collected 80 cents on those. So my cost basis was 1970 on those. So the three of those combined together averaged out between the 2150s, the 2050s, and the 1950s, right around 20 cents a share with 600 shares.
Very nice.
So that's what I'm doing.
It's a good play. I'm going to just let my 20 strike price naked put ride on this TSLL. I got a 63 strike price naked put on IBIT, and I want to do another one on IBIT today because Hood, the one I wanted to do, is just tearing off.
Yeah, Hood, I saw that gapping up.
I'm a little bummed about this.
Oh, it pulled back. It was
Yeah,
gapping up, but it pulled back.
now is the time for me to pounce. I think this one's got a lot of room left in it. So
I still caution you, Jack. This could do that 50% pullback that we've seen.
let's
You know, you
hope.
may,
I hope it does, but I don't see that happening. That would be unbelievable. There'd be no reason for Hood to, maybe it doesn't take a reason, but that is lofty.
that right there can happen again right here. And it doesn't look like this was a big pullback, but when you put the numbers to it, that was 55%.
Yep.
And if we got another 55%, could be down here. I'm just warning. You know, it doesn't have to happen. Certainly nothing ever has to happen.
Bodine short to 18 TSLL for Friday. Robin for a Hood play.
Yeah, I like to put them on a log mode, and that way, when you draw the thing over here, you can pull it over here, and it's the same size. So anyway,
The IBIT strike Papa Jack, I haven't picked that yet.
I would try to be down here around 60 if you can, 60, 61.
Yeah, I got to see what it pays, and I'm going to do it on cash basis and on margin.
Let's see. Let me pull up the chain really quickly, and then we're going to talk about what we talked about yesterday and showed the world.
Yeah, does anybody not have the cash bot? I can imagine why you would not have it, but
You usually like to fly out about a month.
yep.
That's going to put us right out near the 14th. Boy, look how juicy that is. You can get down at 262. You can get $2.
Probably do that.
That's some juicy stuff right there.
Little
And
lower.
I was saying down at 60, you can still get $1.50. Really
Yeah,
juicy.
so Wreck-It Ralph is a cash bot lifer. Does anybody here not have cash bot? Everybody's got it?
Well, that's good if everybody's got it. I mean, this is what the alerts look like right here. These are fresh alerts today.
Yeah, Maggie does. This thing is awesome, man.
I worked hard on this, everybody. And let me pull this up. Sheets.
It's everything anybody could ever want.
Let me see if I can find the track record here and pull this over. The track record is probably what gets me the most excited about it out of everything else. Because, as Jack says, this dog can hunt. Let me make it fit on the screen here. Look at that. Risk $1,000 on every trade so far this year. And we're talking well over 280 trades.
There's nothing to install, Mark.
Yeah, there's no install. There's no, like, I made it as dead nut simple as to use as possible. It's just a tool that you get the alerts. It tells you exactly what to trade.
Yeah.
And you just follow along.
Let's show it to them.
Yeah, let's show it to them. What do you say? Sarah, you want to cue that up and we can play the world premiere that Jack and I did yesterday?
Maybe a little Cowbell.
Had to do the cowbell for a Monday morning.
I don't know why I think that's so funny.
All
All
right.
right.
Ready when you guys are.
Thank you.
Let's take it away.